You know that powerful Windows 11 PC sitting on your desk? Ever get the feeling it could be doing, well, a lot more? Turns out, you're right. It absolutely can. Today, we're going to unlock a secret server that's hiding inside your machine and turn it into a total powerhouse for all sorts of amazing projects.
So let me just ask you this. What if your one PC could actually run a dozen different computers, all at the same time? And what if it was completely free? I'm talking Linux, Windows Server, whatever you want, all running at once. Sounds like sci-fi, right? Well, it's not. It's the magic of virtualization.
And that idea is really at the heart of what we call a home lab today. You can just forget those old images of, giant stacks of noisy, power-hungry servers in a basement. Nope. A modern home lab is all about taking one single power-efficient machine and turning it into your own personal tech playground. It's the perfect spot to learn real-world IT skills or host your own apps without worrying about, breaking your main computer.
And here's the kicker, the part I really love. If you're running Windows 11 Pro or the Enterprise or Education versions, you already have the tool to do all this. It's already there, built right in. It's called Hyper-V, and it's a seriously powerful, professional-grade tool just waiting for you to flip the switch.
Okay, so what exactly is Hyper-V, really? This is where things get a little weird, and frankly, it confuses a lot of people. Its architecture is, well, it's not what you'd expect. So let's just break it down and clear this up once and for all.
All right, so in the world of virtualization, you've basically got two flavors of these things called hypervisors. First, you've got your Type 2. Think of this like a regular app you install, something like VirtualBox. It runs on top of Windows. Easy. Then you have the big guns, Type 1, the bare metal hypervisor. This one doesn't run on an OS. It runs directly on the hardware itself. It is the foundation. This gives it way better performance. And here's the thing, Microsoft claims Hyper-V is a Type 1,
Which should make you go, wait a second, right? If you turn on Hyper-V from inside Windows, how on earth can it be a Type 1? It totally feels like it should be a Type 2 app. It's a paradox. Well, this is the cool part we're about to unravel.
Okay, let's picture your PC right now, as it is. You've got your hardware on the bottom layer, the CPU, RAM, all that good stuff. And then sitting right on top of it is your Windows 11 OS. Simple, right? Hardware, then operating system. That's the normal setup.
but the moment you go into your settings and check that little box to enable Hyper-V, everything changes. Something really fundamental happens the next time you reboot. And here it is. This is the big aha moment. Hyper-V doesn't run on top of Windows. It actually wedges itself underneath Windows. It literally slips in between the hardware and the OS, and it becomes the new boss, the new foundation of your entire system. So what does that actually mean? It means your whole PC's architecture just got flipped on its head. The Hyper-V hypervisor is now running directly on the metal, and your Windows 11 desktop, the one you're clicking around in, it's now technically a virtual machine, a very special, very privileged one called the root partition, but a VM nonetheless, and it runs side by side with any other VMs you decide to create, like a Linux server. Okay, so that's the how, which is pretty cool, right? But now for the fun part, the why. What can you actually do with all this power? Let's talk about some awesome projects you can start right away.
Let's look at 3 powerful ideas. First, if you're trying to get into IT, this is a game changer. You can build an entire corporate network lab complete with a Windows Server and Active Directory to practice your skills. Or, if you're more of a hobbyist, how about running a 24/7 service like Pi-hole to block ads on your entire home network? And for you developers out there, you can use a killer feature called checkpoints to create these perfect little sandboxes. Test your code, mess things up, and if anything goes wrong, boom, you can rewind back to a clean state in seconds.
But it's not all sunshine and rainbows. There is one pretty big catch with Hyper-V. It's kind of bad at passing USB devices through to your virtual machines. And that's a huge deal for a lot of home lab projects, especially something like Home Assistant that needs a specific USB stick, like a Zigbee dongle, to talk to your smart devices. Honestly, this one single limitation is the reason a lot of people eventually start looking for something else.
And that something else is usually a platform called Proxmox. It's the king of the open source home lab world. So let's put them head to head. Hyper-V versus Proxmox, how do they compare?
It really comes down to their core philosophy, their whole reason for being. Hyper-V on your desktop is a desktop that's also a server. You get your normal Windows PC, and oh yeah, it can run some VMs on the side. Proxmox is the total opposite. It is the server.
It's a super lean, stripped-down OS designed to do one thing and one thing only: run VMs and containers as efficiently as humanly possible.
Okay, let's look at how that actually plays out in the real world. For management, with Hyper-V, you're using a Windows app. With Proxmox, you get this slick web interface you can pull up on any browser on any device. Resource-wise, Hyper-V has to run a whole Windows desktop, so its overhead is pretty high. Proxmox barely uses any resources at all. But look, the real difference, the one that matters most, is right there in the containers row.
Yeah, this right here is Proxmox's killer feature. See, it doesn't just run full-blown virtual machines, it also has native support for something called Linux containers, or LXC. Now, if you want to run a Docker container on Hyper-V, you have to first build an entire Linux VM to run it inside of. With Proxmox, the containers run directly, natively. And the difference in performance and efficiency is, well, it's just staggering.
And when I say staggering, I mean it. Look at the numbers. A really lightweight Linux VM might use, say, 60 megs of RAM just sitting there. But the exact same service running in a Proxmox container, it might only use 4 megs. 4! Now imagine you want to run 10, 15, 20 different little services. That massive difference in RAM usage is exactly why Proxmox lets you cram so much more onto one machine.
Okay, so that's a lot to take in. Hyper-V, Proxmox, which path should you take? Let's make this super simple and break down exactly who should use what.
All right, you should choose Hyper-V if you are a die-hard Windows user and you just want to stay in your comfort zone. It's also the perfect choice if your main goal is to build that Active Directory lab we talked about, or if you just want to quickly spin up a sandbox on your main PC to test something out without a big commitment. Basically, if you just want to dabble with one or two things, Hyper-V is the easy button.
Now, you should choose Proxmox if you're getting serious and want to build a dedicated server that's going to run 24/7. If you know you're going to be running a bunch of services, like 3 or more. If you absolutely need that reliable USB pass-through for something like Home Assistant. Or if you want enterprise-level features like ZFS for data protection. If that's you, then yeah, Proxmox is without a doubt the way to go.
So, what's the final verdict here? Honestly, it's pretty simple. Start with Hyper-V, but be ready to graduate to Proxmox. Think about it. Hyper-V is already on your PC. It's free. It's the absolute best way to just get your feet wet without any risk. Spin up a VM, build that first lab. But the moment you start to feel its limitations, the moment you say, I need more, Proxmox is that powerful next step. It's the upgrade path. So the question isn't really Hyper-V or Proxmox. The real question is, where are you on your home lab journey right now?